has been paid for. But
the ENN podcast.
He has a good energy, you guys.
Can you feel
Sport.
excitement?
And also,
The merchandise, wearing the hats.
Is what I'm seeing for real?
Chris Wild here live from Lincoln Financial. Yeah, come on.
I can't wait till this video's over so I can say his name anymore.
Music.
Wow.
Man, again, and I hate to do this again, but these are goofy.
What the hell? What is the... Whoa! What the hell?
And more.
What's his next book gonna be called? Got you, sucker! I did not see that coming.
oh my God.
That was good, Joel. That was good. What about the Philadelphia 76ers? Oh, my goodness. What a great feeling this weekend is. I've never been this excited for basketball since the Allen Iverson era. Anyhow, welcome everybody to another live edition of the ENN podcast. I'm, of course, professional wrestler Chris Wild, getting ready to talk about everything you guys might want to talk about, including, of course, Philly sports, professional wrestling, one of my favorite shows going, and just ended this Sunday. And then we're going to add a little bit of mental health in there as well. Should be about a half hour, maybe a little bit more. I'm psyched. And I got to tell you, I had to start with probably the biggest story in sports. And you know what? I'm not going to rant about baseball yet. But sports that matter, and that's basketball and the Philadelphia 76ers. They went and acquired James Harden from the Brooklyn Nets, got rid of Ben Simmons, who might be the most worthless basketball player in the NBA right now. What's going on, Birdman? It's been a little bit rough here without the Eagles, but we're getting by. As you saw in the highlights there against the New York Knicks, that is only the second game. I know it was the Knicks. They absolutely suck. That's only the second game that the Sixers have played with James Harden, or at least that they've played together. Already, you see a little bit of chemistry there. Joel Embiid, I mean, he is having the best season of his career. He's absolute dominant. He's the the league's MVP, and to put him with a point guard that can actually shoot like James Harden has just been amazing. And again, it brings me back. I have vibes of this guy, number 3, Allen Iverson, my favorite athlete of all time. A guy, again, who was too small to do what he did, and everybody said that he couldn't do it, and he went ahead and did it, and he did it with style, and he, spit in everybody's face that said he couldn't. Definitely a mantra that I live by even to this day. But just an awesome weekend of basketball. Wednesday, they go to Wells Fargo Center, James Harden's first game as a 76er. Now, look, is this a team that is by far the best team in the NBA or the best team in the East? No, but this is a team that has a legitimate shot at doing something in the playoffs, as we have just been tortured through for years and years of Sixers basketball. I'm talking about the process. Everybody remembers the process. If you haven't, I don't even know if I want to remind you, but it was basically the GM at the time, Sam Hinkie, said, look, we're just going to lose. I mean, he didn't say it matter-of-factly, but he said, look, we're going to stop. Maybe it's good if we take a step back for a couple years and acquire some of the best talent coming out of the college ranks. Now, basically what the process did was got you Joel Embiid. The other piece of that puzzle was supposed to be Ben Simmons. We all know what happened with Ben Simmons. The guy completely flaked out. We remember Game 7 against the Atlanta Hawks. Ben Simmons will always be remembered for not dunking the ball when he could have, in a situation where they could have went ahead in that game, would have helped them close out that game. And then after that, he didn't want to come back here and cited mental illness as the reason. He kind of took advantage of the system. But then again, who am I to say what Ben Simmons' mental prowess is? All I know is I'm glad to have James Harden on the Sixers. He makes guys like Tyrese Maxey a lot better. Tobias Harris, I believe, eventually will get there. And again, they've only played for 2 games. So it is what it is there. That is the 76ers. And that's the footage I wanted to show. And I also wanted a reason to play that banger of a song the Sixers have. I mean, it never gets old at all. Just an awesome song. The Phillies have high hopes. And I can't believe, look, I'm talking about baseball. So let's just get to that while I'm here. I'm going to, you know what? I said to myself, I really wanted to come here and rant about Major League Baseball. For those of you that don't know, there probably will not be a Major League Baseball season as it is the latest offer from, as you see on the bottom there, the latest offer from the owners as far as contracts was rejected by the players. So what that means is baseball will definitely be delayed. They're going to be canceling games, and it's to a point where there might not be a season at all this year. And it's not just. And Rob Manfred, probably the worst league president of any of the sports, comes off and he says, the fans are the top of our consideration of what's going on. No, they're not. No, they're not, because this wouldn't be happening if that was the case. I mean, and again, it's not all on the owners, but it's on the players. This affects so many people. It affects guys that work the stadiums, that rely on that money, that people that have been through already a shutdown. I mean, we're talking about a year ago, a little over a year ago, the pandemic hit, and there were no fans in the stadiums, and there were people were out of jobs that worked those stadiums. Finally get it back, and now you're taking it away again. It's selfish. You're talking about, I know, understand the league, 70% of the league doesn't make $1 million. But these are guys that are paid very, 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 very handsomely to play a sport, to play a game, a game that I want my children to play, a game that one of my children does play. And, the Phillies, whether they're, and this isn't a Phillies show, it's not a Phillies podcast. I really didn't want to mention this at all. But, the Phillies, as bad as they are sometimes, it's good to turn on a game and show, my daughter who's playing softball, look, this is how it's done. This is a guy like Bryce Harper. Look at how he plays. Look at his stance in the batter's box. Look how he throws the ball. Look at, but now, as we speak, that's not going to happen. So the only way that you're really going to be able to get any kind of baseball is through watching your children or watching the people that that really still have a passion for the game. and it just sucks. As you see here, this guy smiling doesn't make any sense to me. But yeah, no baseball for anybody this year. I mean, unless you want to watch, baseball from Japan. So it's just it's relentlessly bad, and it sucks. And I really hope that there's some kind of resolution. Again, a lot of people are going to be turning their backs on this league, even if they do come back, because again, like how selfish do you have to be that a group of millionaires cannot figure out a way to make this happen, to make this thing go down? I don't get it. Whatever. It is what it is. No baseball this year. It's really not even worth the rant. And the thing that really pisses me off, the thing that really gets to me, again, it's not about, my kids are at the age this year where I could probably take them to a game and they can enjoy it. It's not even about that. Again, I know a lot of people, a couple that are close to me that work the stadiums that are now going to be without a paycheck because these players and owners can't get their heads out of their asses and make something happen. It's just it's a shame. It's a shame. It's an absolute shame. And speaking of asses, guys, and this isn't a negative rant. Speaking of asses, let's talk about wrestling, and let's talk about Chris Wilde, myself, and the wrestling business, and where you can find me coming up, as bookings have definitely increased for me. And look, it's a personal thing here. COVID-19, the whole pandemic, it really kind of for a while put a mental block as far as being able to get over and again, it's not I kind of stopped taking bookings for a while that weren't local, because it was like, it wasn't that I was scared of getting the virus, but I was scared of giving my children the virus, or people that were close to me, because look, I can handle it. If I'm sick, whatever, I can handle that. But even giving my children or a loved one even an ounce or a second of pain is something that scared the shit out of me, and that I didn't want to do, which is why a lot of the book, I was wrestling twice a weekend. But yeah, I just got a text message I'll talk about here in a minute. But yeah, I was wrestling twice a week, or twice a weekend, sometimes more than that. And it was like, it was great. Wrestling's my passion. That's what, if I could do that every single day, if I could do that 5 days a week, if I could travel, I would be at my happiest. But the pandemic definitely, the pandemic, I'm sorry. As again, I'm reading a text message. The pandemic absolutely just kind of killed my mindset. And that it went away, and I'm absolutely taking bookings. So we're talking about asses. If you want that ass on your show, please hit me up on my social medias. Comment, hit me up on Facebook, Twitter at the Chris Wilde. You can also find me on Instagram. But if you want that ass right there on your show, please, I am taking bookings. And while I'm speaking of, again, I'm being funny here with that, obviously. But there are a list of my socials. Again, Chris Wilde 1 on Instagram, at the Chris Wilde on Twitter. Email me, shoot me an email, chriswildwrestling@yahoo.com. And of course, the YouTube channel, Eagles News Now. And you can find anything on this channel, as you can tell, if you've went ahead and navigated around. I'm talking shows like this, shows on the birds, shows on just music video reactions. The Sopran Bros, which I promise you is coming back. It will be back. Hopefully we can record a couple episodes this weekend. But I'm all about it. And again, let's talk about where Chris Wilde's going to be. Where can you find me? If you want to see me live, if you want to autograph, if you're into wrestling, or if you just want to talk about some of the things I've been talking about, if you're an Eagles fan, you just want to talk about the Eagles, you can find me at a show. And I guarantee you that it will not be a waste of your time. So where can you find Chris Wilde? Well, this weekend, Sunday. Yes, on a Sunday, because there is no football. There's literally nothing to do on Sundays anymore. Well, ACW is giving you something to do this Sunday. I'm talking Adrenaline Wrestling. It used to be Adrenaline Championship Wrestling. You can see your boy, the Heart Killer, Chris Wilde, with Ben Bishop. This kid is, it's over 6 foot. He's 6'5", 6'4". He's an absolute giant. And he's going to help me take out former WWE superstar James Ellsworth and independent wrestling legend, independent wrestling Hall of Famer, a guy I believe should have a contract, should be on TV every Monday, every Wednesday. This dude is that good. I'm talking about Ruckus. And it's Beers with the Boys. Also, the Sandman's going to be there. Yes, that Sandman from ECW. We're going to be at Buffalo Bob's, guys, Sunday, March 6th. $40 ringside. I'm telling you, it is absolutely worth every single penny. Just this match alone is going to be worth that. Doors open at 4:30 and the first bell is at 5 o'clock. That is Sunday, live professional wrestling. Wild and Bishop versus Blackout. Anything can happen. The next time you can find me, as of right now, I'll take, I'm free Saturday. I'm free the week after that. But when I'm not free after this Sunday, you can find me at Atlantic All-Star Wrestling. They're presenting Beatdown. That's March 19th at 7 p.m. West Grove Industrial Park. We're talking Westville, New Jersey, guys. I will be in Jersey representing, and I'll be facing an old nemesis, an old friend, an old rival. I've been up and down the roads with this guy. This guy is one of the best wrestlers I've ever been in the ring with. I'm talking about Breaker Morant. And I know the promoters watching, I promise you that promo is coming. It's hard. Can you imagine how hard it is to put into a message for Breaker Morant or a video? Years and years of history and what's going to happen when we are in a street fight on March 19th. It's going to be absolutely awesome. It's going to be something you guys are going to want to see. And then, of course, to round out the month of March. And again, and this is only if I don't get any other bookings before then. Again, guys, I'll take whatever you guys have, as I really feel like I'm hitting my stride, coming back off the pandemic, finally feeling like the Heart Killer, Chris Wilde. And that's 1CW Pro Wrestling, Saturday, March 26th. That is in Houston, Delaware, guys. WWE, former WWE superstar, Big Cass. You got to see this guy right now. This guy, again, another giant. Check him out. Check me out as I face this guy on the left. This dude right here, the real skinny, ugly one, Ty Awesome. He's coming after my 1CW Workhorse Championship. I faced former NWA Power Superstar, the Church's Money Black Cheese, last month, and a match that's going to eventually be on TV down here in Delaware. And it was absolutely one of the best matches I think I've ever had. This guy's absolutely awesome. However, I do want to apologize. Somehow I made that 2 words. I want to apologize, guys. I want to apologize for after the match. There was an exchange between me and the Church's Money Black Cheese, and I may have said a word that can't be said on TV. Again, I apologize for that. This stuff is, it's real emotion. There's real emotion in there. Sometimes I get the better of myself. And anybody that's ever worked with me, it takes me a lot to get there. It got there last week. But I still have the 1CW Workhorse Championship. I will be facing Ty Awesome. And it's crazy. Look at that flyer. Can we bring that flyer back up, please? Yeah, the 1CW flyer. For some reason, Ty Awesome is on the flyer. He's not the champ. But your champ is not on the flyer. Guys, what is that about? Ty Awesome on the flyer, not the champ. The champ is sitting here doing a live stream, not on the flyer. And I'm going to tell you right now, that's going to add a little bit of juice to this match. It's going to add a little bit of gasoline to the fire, not as if I needed any more gasoline added to my fire. Ty Awesome is going to get his ass absolutely whooped. You want to see an ass whooping? Come to 1CW in Houston, Delaware. It's going to happen. Ty it's not going to be pretty. It's not going to be long. I don't get paid by the hour. and it's going to be something you guys don't want to miss. And that's March for me, guys. That's March for me. Again, please hit me up. Let's try to get some more bookings for the Heart Killer Chris Wilde. And again, I'll do, I can be a really good guy. I can be a really bad guy. I can do it all. So that is that. And guys, let's talk about what I really want to talk about concerning the Eagles. We know that it is the off season. It is the off season. It is, and I'm going to get to these comments here, Birdman, before I get to that. Yes, you've been trying to get me on the show forever. And if you kind of look at my channel, I haven't been putting out as much content recently because it's just been so, I know like this sounds goofy, but it's just been so busy, man. Life has been really busy for me. And we'll definitely do that collab at some time. Do you think you would ever wrestle in California? I'd absolutely love to wrestle in California. California is one of my favorite places. Shout out to Bazooka Joe. San Diego is one of my, I was there a couple years ago visiting him. And it's just, if I could live there, I would live there. It's like 70 degrees on a cold day. I would love to wrestle in California. And again, if you know anybody that wants to have me down there, please have them hit me up. I would love to. Paradise. It's absolute paradise. Let's talk about, Birdman, let's talk about these birds here as, again, the off season, man. And we're in that lull after the Super Bowl where there's not much to talk about. Let me drink these BCAs. We're in that lull where there's not much to talk about. But there are a lot of rumors going on because the Eagles have 3 first-round picks this year. They have, I know a lot of people watching like, I'm going to shut this off. Just stick with me here for a minute because the mental health part at the end is going to be really important here. But anyway, they've got 3 first-round picks. They have a bunch of money to spend, salary cap money, and there's a lot of rumors and innuendo going on what they're going to do with the quarterback position. And again, to me, I look at their current quarterback, Jalen Hurts, and I look at his highlight reel. And I said this during my show the other day. Sarah G. Look at that face. Georgia. Listen, and this is completely getting me off the Eagles right now. But there's a lot of wrestling in Georgia. There's a lot of wrestling down there. I absolutely need to get to Georgia. I need to get to Georgia to wrestle again. Maybe it's time I start looking around, maybe sending out some resumes, maybe sending out a picture of this ass. Could this be to come to Georgia? Absolutely. I'll travel wherever, man. I am going. You only live once. I'm ready to travel anywhere. And that Ahmed Johnson booty and people in the business know what I mean by that is ready to as well. Georgia would be awesome to go to. And I'll be honest with you. I plan on going down south. Going down south is something the Heart Killer Chris Wilde does best. Oh, I can't believe I said that. I'm tired. Anyway, back to the Eagles. They got some first-round picks. They've got some money. They've got a quarterback that the kid's 23 years old. This was his first year as a starter this year. He progressed from the year before. He is watching his highlight reel. You look at this guy and you go, man, I'd love to have this guy as my quarterback. But then watching him in real time, and remember that Tampa Bay playoff game, it was like, this guy is so far off as far as reading defenses. Like he can't. You could tell, and even I think it was a D-line coach, and he's local. I can't remember his name. Tom something says, look, the guy can't read defenses. He's going to give us a couple, and he did as far as the interceptions. Is that something that he can't get right? No, he could absolutely learn that. Year 3, he could be. You surround him with some more talent. He can absolutely, and he's the type of kid that seems like he's determined to get better. However, there's a rumor about guys. Look, Aaron Rodgers. Would Aaron Rodgers want to come here? No, let's be honest. He wants to go to a team that can win next year. But there's one guy, and I'm not talking about Deshaun Watson. And thank you. Please, look, anywhere in Georgia. Look around for me. Anywhere in Georgia would be great to wrestle at. Would absolutely love to. So, yes, please let me know. But speaking of, there's one guy that I would want besides Jalen Hurts, and that's Russell Wilson, man. That is look, Russell Wilson to me, he's been in Seattle just getting and look again, look at my video I posted yesterday. He's been getting his ass kicked in Seattle because the line sucks and there's not much of a running game there. This is a good question. He's trying to get out of there. Yeah, look, I know he's saying the right things right now. I want to stay in Seattle. Seattle's where I'm at. Of course he is. Because look, even though he wants out of Seattle, he respects the organization. And unlike Ben Simmons, who made it very clear that he did not want to be in Philadelphia, or like what the Colts are doing with Carson Wentz, basically said they don't want him there anymore. Russell Wilson is keeping his trade value high for the Seahawks. Because if he says he does not want to go to Seattle or be in Seattle, everyone's going to know that they're not going to give Seattle a lot for him or as much as they could. Now, Seattle wants a ton, but there's one idiot out there in TV land. I swear it's not COVID. That I want to talk about. Before I do that, I want to answer your question, Birdman. Do you think we should lower our expectation of this organization because I feel that we are setting ourselves up for a big letdown? So my expectations already aren't that high. Because I don't know what to expect. I really don't. Everything in me says that they're going to try to use these picks to get one of these franchise quarterbacks that are out there, like Deshaun Watson, like Russell Wilson. Now, these guys also have, you can't just trade for them. They also have something in their contract that they get to decide where they want to be traded to. But I don't have really super high expectations for this team. I didn't going in. So I don't know. I mean, I guess if you're thinking Super Bowl next year, yeah, you might want to lower that a little bit. Or if you're thinking they're definitely getting Russell Wilson, you might want to lower that a little bit as well. And why this is even something to talk about for me, and again, I said this in yesterday's video, is because the betting odds a week ago went from 40-1, the Eagles odds, to thank you, Sarah. The 40-1 odds went to 5-1. And to me, that's such a huge jump. I don't know if that happens regularly, that the Eagles will get Russell Wilson from 41 to 5-1. So there's one of the guys that I can't stand to watch, but I also have to stop when I see something on the Twitter feed of him saying is Colin Cowherd. And I'm going to play you what he thinks the Eagles should give up for Russell Wilson. We'll get to the audio.
Give you 4 first-round picks, and I'd give you a player. If you want Darius Slay, as good as he is, Seattle needs a corner. I'd give you Darius Slay, 4 first-round picks. Russell Wilson, I believe, would dominate that division in Philadelphia forever. But I would say this: I can't think of any reason I'd give up on Russell Wilson. Because you're just waving the white flag in that division. If you don't have Russell Wilson, you can't. Jalen Hurts, and if you traded quarterbacks, Jalen Hurts isn't going to win that division. You've got too many good coaches, too many good offenses, too many good quarterbacks. Kyler Murray, Matt Stafford.
Now, listen, this is also the guy that said that the Eagles would only win 3 games this year, and they'd be dead last in the league. I don't take anything I take it with a grain of salt. I don't take anything he says with any meaning at all. And the fact that he would trade 4 first-round picks and Darius Slay, that's the part. Look, the first-round picks, we just saw a team win the Super Bowl because their general manager wore a shirt that said, F them first-round picks. He gave up first-round picks for Jalen Ramsey, for Matt Stafford, for Von Miller, I mean, the guy didn't care, and they won the Super Bowl. Howie Roseman, I don't trust with first-round picks anyway. I mean, look, the guy doesn't, except for this year, the guy doesn't pick well in that first round. So it is what it is with that. But Darius Slay had an awesome year last year. The Eagles need corners. They need cornerbacks. So you're going to give up all your first round picks. It means you're not going to get one of the top corners. And then you're going to give up Darius Slay as well. It's just, to me, it's stupid. I wouldn't do it. Look, here's my package for Russell Wilson. Okay. I'll give you 2 first round picks, and I'll give you a second next year. Or maybe 2 this year, and maybe I'll give you a 1 next year as well. And Jalen Hurts, and that's it. Because look, Hurts has showed, he took the Eagles to the playoffs this year. Hurts has showed that he might end up being better than Russell Wilson. I don't know. Don't hang me at the stakes for saying that, because I don't know. But for me, I'm just, and again, Russell, he could be washed for all we know. all that wear and tear in the body could eventually got to him. But I don't know, guys. So that's the Eagles stuff there. Russell Wilson to the Eagles. Again, the odds from 40-1 to 5-1. I don't know. It just, to me, that means it's at least being talked about. It's at least, there's got to be something there. And thank you, Sarah. And please let me know. Again, I for those of you watching that are in different states or aren't on the East Coast, I will wrestle anywhere. I would literally wrestle anywhere. We are 30 minutes, over half an hour, and I still have a portion of the show. I want to talk about mental health. I told you guys I would try to bring that into every live stream, as it really, really is important. And it's so important to me. And I really haven't. Those that are close to me, and some people that I work with know this. So I might as well let the cat out the bag right now. I am going to be. I interviewed at my job, and for those of you that don't know, I kind of do what the Big Boss Man did before he became a wrestler. But I interviewed for a spot on something called the SIXERS team. It's basically when something critical incident happens, they have people go and talk or listen, I should say, to people that might be affected by it, coworkers that might be affected by things that happen, whether that be a death of a coworker, a major incident at the place. They're able to, in confidence, talk to somebody. And I remember looking around at that place, and I said, man, it's just a lot of people want to talk, but they just don't want to talk to who's out there. So, why not me? Because a lot of people talk to me, and I look different than the product that was being put out there. And nothing against those people. I mean, sometimes, 100% professional and 100% crew cut. And sometimes it's just, you don't want to talk to people that look like they might get you in trouble. And again, it's nothing. And I said this in the interview, and there's nothing against those people. I mean, I'm sure they're 150% qualified for what they do. And I'm sure that they're great at it. But there are a group of people that just don't want to talk to what's being out there. And I figured I could help. And I will start training with them next week because a lot of people are hurting out there. The biggest, baddest, motherfuckers, for lack of a better term, are afraid to talk. No, not a counselor. Sarah, your whole face changed. The picture changed. They're both good. But no, not a counselor. And they kind of say, like, look, we're not counselors, not a counselor, just somebody that'll listen, just somebody with open ears that'll listen, and may want to share experiences. I have so much that I've dealt with, that somebody might have also dealt with and might have also felt. And mental health can come from, mental things can come from the smallest, literally the smallest thing. For instance, so I've been looking for years, man, like protein bars haven't been my thing. Okay. They just haven't. And it's crazy because they're so convenient. If you're hungry, here's a protein bar. It's basically a meal in a bar. I mean, it gives you all the nutrients, all the protein, everything. It gives you everything that you need. Magic. That's how all right. I need to learn that magic. Please teach me. But it gives you everything you need. These protein bars are everything you need. And you eat them, you're done, right? You don't got to pack all these meals to work, these overtime meals, all this stuff. You have a nice little protein bar, but they all taste like shit. They taste like sand to me. I mean, it's so hard getting that down my mouth. That's what she said. But it's so hard getting one of those things down. And then I finally found one. That was actually good. That I actually liked to ingest. And I got one of these bad boys right here. It's one of these guys, these Met RX peanut butter pretzel. There's actually, I don't want to open this right now because I'm going to eat it later. There's actually pretzels on the top of this. They've got little specks, I think maybe of something that's supposed to be salt. It's absolutely amazing. It is so amazing. Yes, we definitely talked about that, Sarah. Yes. So I couldn't find them. Anywhere. Every store that I looked, they were all out. It was all, and mentally, I obsessed over it. I couldn't. I was ready to travel, dude. I live in Delaware. I was ready to travel to Jersey to find to find one of these. But it was just, and I had to stop myself, like, dude, like, just order it on Amazon. I'll be here tomorrow. The fact that I needed it right then, right there, and I, again, if I had no self control, like, this is something that I would have been somewhere trying to find this amazingly good protein bar. And I tried every other bar from like MedRx pretty much, except for they got a birthday cake one. I didn't try that, but I tried every other one, and they were all kind of good, but just not as damn good as this. And they weren't this one. So there's that. One of my favorite shows right now has to deal a lot with mental health and drug addiction. Now, luckily, and people that know me, I've never done a drug. It's just never has been my thing ever. Like, I've just never wanted to. I've never felt the need to. Now I used to love to go out and drink. Again, that's really not even my thing anymore either. There's a show called Euphoria. I don't know if you guys have seen it. There's going to be some spoiler alert right now. So if you are watching, you don't want to be spoiled. And one of the text messages that I got, if you follow me on Facebook, my close friend, Jessica, we started watching this. We started watching the show when it first came out. We kind of binge watched it, and it was just such a mind F, the whole show. It basically follows, it's starring Zendaya. Am I saying that right? It didn't even sound like it came out right. But she's MJ in the Spider-Man movies. She's also a singer. And she's a teenager who's addicted to drugs, just any drug. It doesn't matter, any drug. And you follow her and the casting characters of people that go to this high school in LA, and it's just insane. But it deals with a lot of mental health and how people cope with mental health. And, she eventually had to go see, she had to go to AA and see a sponsor and do things like this. And that season, there was a part where there was an intervention where she absolutely lost her mind. And it's like, it made me think to myself, like, I haven't been there with drugs, but I've been there. Like, I've been there where, like, you might be acting a certain way. There might be a problem with the way you're acting. People try to help you, and you just kind of, you just don't want it. You just don't want the help. And I've kind of been there, and I don't know if anybody, but anyway, back to Jessica. I told her to watch it. She still hasn't watched it, and she sent me a text. Oh, I'm watching the finale now. So awesome. But it's just one of those shows that just kind of hits you hard. And it's absolutely amazing. It's on HBO Max. And the finale, the last 2 episodes were just beautifully done. I really love good writing and good acting. The show has absolutely all of it. It's got everything. Again, it's got everything that you would want in a series. And some of these series are better than movies now, which is really crazy. I came upon another like a mental issue yesterday where, again, I think I learned, and this is, again, just going to therapy. Therapy is an absolute, one of the guys I wrestle with, Vinny Pacifico, put on Twitter today, and I wish I could bring it up. And he said therapy is such a magical tool. Like you should definitely use it and reach out to people that, if you need help. Let me answer this real fast. So, yesterday it was like, I dealt with a situation, and it was, I'm not going to go into like specifics of the situation, but it was like a kind of like a heartbreaking situation. Like it was major to me. And, I kind of realized where like therapy had helped me at that moment, because, the way I dealt with it, I mean, it was, it came out of nowhere, and it was just like, at first it was like, holy shit, and I reacted to the situation like anybody should. Like, the thing is, you can't get down on people for reacting. I always say this, like, if you put your hand on a stove, your immediate reaction is going to be ow. And I've seen some badass dudes that maybe that might not be it, but let's just say the regular person, it's going to be ow. You're gonna, or you hit your toe on the door, or you hit your hand with a hammer if you're in construction or nailing something, you have that instant reaction. Now, what comes after, that's the important part. What comes after is how you react to that initial reaction, because you can't. So if it's a domestic situation, if it's a situation at work and something happens, you're probably going to react, how 90% of people are. And like for me, like yesterday, it was like anger. It was disappointment. It was hurt. It was, heartbreak, which is like, it's a metaphorical thing. It's not even, your heart really doesn't break, but, it was just like, man, I can't, I can't believe it. And outspewed words and things of that nature. And I just had to stop myself and be like, and this helped me. And I'm saying this because I hope maybe if anybody else is dealing with anything, I hope, I hope maybe this, even if it's just one person, that this could help. But I had to stop myself from all the anger and the disappointment and, again, the metaphorical heartbreak. And I just had to stop myself and say, like, is feeling this way. And again, sometimes you can't help how you feel. I mean, you are in charge of your own person. Everything going on in the outside world, like you're in charge of the skin that you're in. Like you are in charge of that. And so I tell myself is like, is feeling this way, is being this angry, is being this wanting to lash out and just tear everything down. Is that going to make a difference? Is it going to make a difference? Like, what difference is that going to make for me? Not for whatever was involved in the situation, but for me. The answer is no, it's not. So, I think of it as, and again, tough situations, again, like at work or just with a loved one or, or like relationships. I try to think of it like this, like, just imagine like building a house and you do everything right to build the house. Like you got all the right tools, you got all the right materials, you've got a plan, like you build it. At times, you might see, okay, maybe I had this drawn out one way, but I want to go a different way with it. Okay, this works better. That doesn't. You get the house up, right? You get the house up, or you're almost done the house, and then it falls down, or wind blows it over. Now you could put the wood that you used to build that house, you can put it on fire. You can be done with it. You can watch it burn to ash, or you can roll out the blueprint and make it better, or back off from it, or figure out that, maybe the way the house isn't the way you want. There's so many different things, different ways to react for the positive in you, because anger, frustration, and the way that you react to that. I'm not talking an initial reaction. Again, sometimes I yell at my children. They're like, "Dad, why are you yelling?" Well, because like it got me initially, like that reaction got me mad. If I continue to yell and act like an idiot, then there's an issue. But that initial reaction, yes, like when you're scared, boo, you can't help that. But if the person that scared me, if I beat the shit out of them, I can control that. I can control not doing that. Because again, it's not going to be positive for anybody. And I think that's just I guess today's message in this episode, or whatever you want to call it, is just finding ways and telling yourself, like hitting that stop button. I was a big Saved by the Bell guy, as like I say, kid, but like as a youth. And if anybody has watched that, those too young for that, whatever, find an episode on Google or YouTube or wherever. Zach Morris, the main character, at times, like he would go time out and the entire scene would pause. Everybody would pause and he'd talk to the audience and he'd go time in. And sometimes you just got to do a timeout. You just got to pause everything and really think, like really, really think, like, what is going to make this better for me? Do I want to completely leave the house that I built or I tried to build? Just because it's not coming out as I thought, and it got kind of blown over, and it's going to take a little bit more work, and maybe I need to use some different tools, and maybe I need to take some more time or just back away from it for a little bit? Or do you just completely burn it to the ground? Is it what is going to be good for you? What's going to be good for you? And Sarah, I really appreciate you watching. Sounds like my life the last 2 years. Got to pick up and keep building. Yeah, you just because it's man, life is throw you so many different curveballs. It's like at time, like look, I'm a shitty little leaguer. I had trouble hitting a fastball, but even the best baseball player, you got to figure out how to hit those curveballs at some point. You got to figure it out. Because I don't like to strike out, and life is going to throw you some curveballs and some spitters and some different things, and just figuring out how to hit them. And again, it's not going to come right away. Oh wow, I got my first bot of the day. Awesome. Vum.today. Somewhere I will never go from Hood Rich Trilla Chick V. Thank you. I'm surprised it took 45 minutes to get a bot in here. But guys, yeah, it is now 9:15. I do have to work tonight. I still have to eat. A little bit hangry at the moment, I guess you could call it. But again, it's how you react to that. I'm not going to go and get a bunch of shitty fast food. I'm going to go into the kitchen, pull out some chicken and some jasmine rice, and call it a day. I really appreciate everybody that watched for the sports stuff, for the wrestling stuff, for the Euphoria stuff, or just for the mental health stuff. And again, guys, not a lot of that today, but I had to add a little bit in because I think it's, again, anytime I'm feeling some kind of way, I'm definitely glad to share it. And sometimes I need to. It's called, sometimes I have to purge a little bit. I'm going to need more BCAs. The week's just starting, and I'm fatigued. That being said, everybody, I'm going to end this the way I end all my videos. First, I'm going to tell you to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Please subscribe. We're doing 3 platforms today. Hopefully 4th with Twitch coming in the near future. Go ahead and hit me up. Subscribe. Also, if you want to donate to the show, please. These bad boys. But seriously, I got this Cash App thing going on. Chris Wild Wrestling Cash App. Also, patreon.com/Soprambros. But yeah, if you want to donate to the show, all the money from the Cash App goes directly into this show, making my backgrounds a little bit better, or some of my equipment. As we can always improve. And again, Twitch is on the way, and that's going to be a big undertaking for me there. But now that part's out of the way, everybody stay safe. Stay healthy. Even if you're not an Eagles fan, go Birds. I'll see you later.
The following announcement has been paid for by
The ENN Podcast.
He has a good energy, you guys.
Can you feel
Sport.
excitement? And also,
The merchandise, wearing the hats.
Mo, is what I'm seeing for real?
Wild here live from Lincoln Financial.
Yeah, come on.
I can't wait till this video's over so I can say his name anymore.
Music.
Wow.
Man, again, and I hate to do this again, but these are goofy.
What the hell? What is this? Whoa! What the hell?
And more.
What's his next book gonna be called? Got you, sucker! I did not see that coming.